One of the latest trends in the Android smartphone community is higher refresh rate displays. And that just means the number of times a display will refresh every second. So in theory, a higher refresh rate display should be smoother whenever you're interacting with the software than a device with a lower refresh rate display. And this is actually something that's supported in hardware, but is typically limited in software. However, thanks to a developer named tribalfs, we have a new application called Galaxy Max Hertz. That's Galaxy Max HZ that you can download for free from GitHub right now, that will allow you to control and customize the refresh rate display, the refresh rate setting on many modern Samsung smartphones and tablets. So right here, I'm going to be using the Galaxy S21 Ultra as my example. But this application is going to work on a lot of other Galaxy devices. But we can actually use this application on some of the more affordable devices as well, including the new Galaxy A52 and 72 series, the 32, the M12. There's a lot of modern Samsung devices that this will work on. We don't have a complete list right here. So if you have a Samsung device that this is not working for, let us know in the comments section below. So I'm going to be including a link to the download page for the Galaxy Max Hertz application in the video description. All you're going to need to do is go to the download page, find the latest version, and download that APK so that you can sideload and install that application. Now, this app does not require root access. However, it does require that we enable an ADB setting. So if you're not familiar with how to install ADB and fastboot tools, again, look in the video description. I'll have a dedicated tutorial that shows you how to get those tools installed on your PC. You will need a computer in order to run this ADB command. I'm not seeing a way to enable this via root. So I know some applications will opt for the ability to enable the feature via ADB or simply with root access. This is a fairly new application, so we may get an update for this in the future. So for now, I'm just going to show you the official method with ADB. And if you haven't already, we're going to need to enable developer mode so that we can enable USB debugging mode on our Samsung Galaxy Android smartphone or tablet. I'll be having links to how to do this as well down below. This ADB command is a one-time setup. You're only going to need to do this after you install the application. And you'll only need to repeat this anytime you do a factory reset. If you install an over-the-air update, or if you are simply, just doing a reboot or something, we don't need to repeat this ADB command. So what I've done is I've connected our smartphone to the PC with a USB cable. Since I already have ADB and fastboot tools installed, I just opened up a command prompt. I ran the ADB devices command, which is not required. Some people do it so that we can check to make sure that ADB is detecting our device that we have plugged in, but it's not required. What is required is for us to enter an ADB shell, which you saw right here. I did by typing out ADB space shell, and then I pressed enter. What that does is it drops you down into a shell prompt on the device you have connected, which is why we have a different looking prompt right here. And then we're just going to type out the actual command, which is pm space grant space com.tribalfs.gmh. That is the package name for this application we have just installed. And we're giving that application this special permission, which is Android permission write secure settings, with 2 underscores there and a dot between the other words. I'll be including the full command for this in the video description, so if you want, you can simply copy and paste it from there. Once we have this entire command typed out, we're just going to press enter on the keyboard. And as long as we did everything correctly, it should just drop us into another prompt that looks identical to the one before. We're not going to get a success message, but we're also not going to get an error message. So if you do get some kind of error here, it's likely that you typed something wrong. So be sure to double check that. After we have executed that ADB Shell command, we can then go into our application, and everything should be unlocked as it should. You can see we used to have little eye icons next to a couple of these options in here. That was a way to alert us that the ADB command has not been installed yet, or has not been executed yet. With that done, those little eye icons disappear. So let's give you a rundown of this application right here. First, we have a toggle that lets us show the real-time refresh rate that we're currently set to. So if we go into our settings, go into display, and look at the motion smoothness option, some devices, now again, not all devices are going to have this. Samsung has restricted this feature. Even though the hardware sometimes supports it, Samsung has restricted this feature to its flagship devices. So if your device supports it, you can go here just to get a baseline of which option you're currently set on. If you're on adaptive, it can change, but also adjust it up as high as 120 Hertz. Or you can set it to standard, which will save some battery life, make things a little less smooth, as it sets the refresh rate to 60. So right now we have it set to 120 on adaptive. We can go back into our app. We can see it recognizes we're on 120 Hertz adaptive. We can also tap this toggle to give us a real-time refresh rate right there at the top in our status bar. And since we are at adaptive, it's going to change. Sometimes it's going to be at 60. When we tap the screen and actually invoke some motion, it's going to be adaptive and jump up to 120. And we can see it actually change on the fly thanks to this little toggle. Now we also have a screen off feature. I know a lot of people use the always on display. So if you use that, you can enable this feature so that it will set the refresh rate when the always on display is being shown to one of the lowest refresh rates that it can, which in this app for this device is 48, so that it can actually improve battery life even more. So as you can see with adaptive at 120 setup, sometimes the display drops down to only 60, and it will spike up whenever it detects motion or whenever you touch the screen. And again, it will drop down to 60 after you let it go in order to save some battery life. Some people are not a fan of that variable adaptive change, So if you want, with this application, you can go in and set this to high instead of adaptive. And as you can see, that changed right there. We went from 120 Hertz adaptive to 120 Hertz high. With that set, it will constantly keep that 120 Hertz display refresh rate. Even when we are no longer touching the display, even when it no longer detects motion, it will stay at 120 Hertz if you select that option. Now you can also change this max refresh rate. If we remember, when we go back into the settings, we only have the option to go between 60 and 120. And the only way we can get 120 is by enabling adaptive. So if we want, we can actually tap this purple or blue button, however it looks for you. It's purple on here, but it looks blue in the camera, to change what our max refresh rate is. So by default it's set to 120, but if we want, while it's still set to 120 adaptive, we can drop that down to 48 Hertz adaptive. And we can see it's only going to allow the phone at a max of 48 Hertz. We can see this with that option, thanks to this toggle in the status bar. And again, we can see this in action as we keep it going. We can bump it up to 60 Hertz, and now it's going to keep that at 60 Hertz. We can go up to 96, so that when the display does not detect any motion, it will drop it down to 60, since that's the default setting. But whenever it detects motion, instead of jumping up to 120, it'll only go up to 96. And some people prefer this because it will give them their high refresh rate display. It'll give them that smoothness while saving a little battery life, because it's not having to ramp up to the full 120. Now again, if you're not a fan of the adaptive changing, we can change this over to high, and then it will max out the refresh rate at whatever option you keep it at. So if you want it at 120 Hertz high all the time, set this option to high. Make sure this is set to 120 Hertz high, and we can see at the top right and the top left in the status bar, it's going to be pegged at 120 frames per second. Even when we change and go to different apps, when we go into a game, it will stick at 120 Hertz because we have set that. Now granted, that's going to be a major hit to battery. Not a major hit, but it's going to be a decent hit to battery life. Some people are going to be fine with that. Others may not. So if you want, you can even come in here and change this option. Just like before, when we had it set to adaptive, if we only want it to max out at 48 Hertz, we can do that by setting it to 48 Hertz high, and it will constantly max out at 100 or at 48 Hertz, no matter what app we're in, no matter what we're doing, and we can see that in the status bar. Same with 60 Hertz. And the same with 96 Hertz. The last thing I want to show you is the quick setting tiles that come with this application. We can see the details up here in the top widget. And it's going to follow whichever mode you have it set. So if you have it set to high mode, then it's going to set to high mode here. If you have it set to adaptive mode, then it's going to change those quick setting tiles to adaptive mode. And we can actually see these in action by going into the quick settings panel. Oops. Going into edit buttons, because it's likely going to be not added. And you're going to see some toggles added here. We got resolution, max, or the refresh rate monitor, and max refresh rate toggle. we're able to switch between resolutions and refresh rates, and even toggling the monitor that we have enabled up here in the settings or the status bar. We can toggle that on and off and cycle through all of those modes quickly and easily using these quick setting toggles without having to dive into the settings like Samsung has, and without having to go back into the application itself. So that's the overview of the Galaxy Max Hertz application from the developer tribalfs. It's currently available on GitHub right now. There are a lot of features that you can go through, a lot of toggles and options that you can play with. If you enjoy it, be sure to activate it for an ad-free or simply buy the developer a coffee.